The camera clicks in the dark, a quiet sound, a harmless sound. But somewhere in a silent house in Mesa, Arizona, that click would become the last thing a man ever heard. No scream. No warning. Just the soft echo of a moment frozen forever. And by the time the sun rose, love had turned into obsession, and obsession into something far more terrifying. Tonight, we step into a case where passion blurred into control, where intimacy became a weapon, and where the truth hid behind a smile that never quite reached the eyes. This is the story of Jodi Arias. Travis Alexander was the kind of man people trusted. Instantly. Charismatic. Motivational. The kind of voice that made you believe life could always be better. He spoke about discipline, faith, ambition. Friends saw him as confident, focused, full of plans for the future. And then there was Jodi, quiet at first, observant, intense in a way that didn't show immediately. When she entered Travis's life, it felt like coincidence. Like fate, to people meeting at just the right time. But some connections don't fade when they should. They tighten. They suffocate. In the beginning, it was chemistry. Long conversations, late nights, a relationship that burned fast and bright. But soon, that fire became unpredictable. Arguments followed passion. Distance followed closeness. Travis tried to move on. Friends say he talked about boundaries, about ending things. But Jodi never truly left the edges of his life. She lingered. Watching. Waiting. June 2008 arrived, heavy with heat. The kind of heat that presses against your skin and makes everything feel restless. Travis had plans, a trip, a future that did not include her. On a quiet afternoon, his house stood still. No music. No voices. Just sunlight slipping through windows, catching dusts in the air. Inside that house, something went horribly wrong. The tales would later chill anyone who heard them. A struggle, a desperate attempt to survive. Blood where there should have been safety, fear where there should have been trust. But the house didn't scream that, it kept its secrets. Days passed before concern turned into alarm. Friends noticed silence, calls unanswered, messages unread. When they entered the home, the air felt wrong. Heavy. Still. As if the walls themselves were holding their breath. They found Travis in shower. Vulnerable. Defenseless. Day place meant for routine and privacy turned into the scene of unimaginable violence. And suddenly, the mystery began. Investigators searched for answers, but the house spoke in fragments. Footprints. Photos. A digital camera left behind, quietly holding moments from just before everything ended. Images captured intimacy, and then terror. Smiles. Nudity. And finally, fear frozen in pixels. The timeline narrowed, the suspect list tightened, and one name refused to disappear: Jodi Arias. One question. Her story shifted like sand. She hadn't been there. Then she had. Then strangers were involved. Then she claimed fear, survival, innocence. Each version sounded rehearsed. Each explanation raised more questions than it answered. Why was she calm when others were breaking down? Why did her emotions appear on cue, then vanish? Why did the evidence keep whispering her name? Friends began to talk about jealousy. About control, about behavior that felt possessive. Even after the relationship was over, the investigation covered a trail that stretched across states. Phone records. Gas receipts, movements that didn't align with her words. Every clue felt like another step deeper into a psychological maze. Was this self-defense? Was it rage? Was it a moment of passion that spiraled out of control? Or was it something colder, planned long before that camera clicked in the dark? In court, the world watched out. They watched a woman who cried, who smiled, who stared without blinking. They listened. His love was described as obsession, and obsession as justification, but beneath every explanation, one truth remained unmoved. Travis Alexander never walked out of that bathroom. Even now, years later, the case refuses to feel finished because it forces an uncomfortable question. How well do we really know the people we let close? Where is the line between devotion and danger? And how many warning signs do we ignore until it's too late? Some say justice was served. Others say the real mystery lies not in what happened, but why not, because the most frightening crimes are committed by strangers in the dark. They're committed by someone who once knew laughed at your secrets, your fears, and they don't announce themselves. They arrive quietly, like a camera clicking an empty house. If you found this story chilling, subscribe for more mysteries, because some cases never close.